Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi zidni ilma, Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma la sahla illa ma ja'altahu sahlan wa anta taj'alul hazna idha shi'ta sahlan. Before we start the class, we ask Allah Ta'ala for His help. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are doing February, March 2020, 058022. So the first question that you have over here is, from the list, write down a number that is a multiple of 3. Multiple of 3 basically means a number that comes in the table of 3. So as you can see, 12 is a multiple of 3. Part B, it says find a cube number. A cube number is that you multiply a number 3 times, you get the answer. So for example, 2 cube, which means 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2, that's 8. So the cube number is 8. A prime number is that comes in the table of 1 and in its own table. So in this case, 5 is a prime number. And an irrational number is that continues, that has no end. So under root 7 is an irrational number. That's your first question. Moving on to the second question, it says the number of people swimming in a pool is recorded each day for 12 days. Complete the stem and leaf diagram. And then they have given the key. 1/3 is 13 swimmers. So key is most important. First of all, you will arrange the data in ascending order, which means from small to big. So the smallest number over here is 13. After 13 you have 15. After 15 you have 18. Alright. So we will write 3, 5, 8. Then if you look at it, you have 21. So you will just write 1. Then you have 24. So you will just write 4. Then you have 26. You will just write 6. And then you have 28. So you will just write 8. Then you have 36. So you will just write 6 and then 8, 8, 38, 38. And lastly you have 45. You will just write 5, and 48 you will just write 8. So that's it. You're done with this question. Now the question says find the median number of swimmers. The formula for finding median is n plus 1 divided by 2. N basically refers to the number of swimmers. So if you look at the question, it says that the number of swimming pool in the pool is recorded for 12 days. Find the median number of swimmers. So you will do 12 plus, how many were there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 13 divided by 2. 13 divided by 2 basically means 6.5. So you will choose the 6th number and the 7th number. Please note the 6th and 7th number, and then you will add those two numbers and divide it by 2. So which is the 6th number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So the 6th number is 26, the 7th number is 28. Add them both up and divide them by 2. So that turns out to be 26 plus 28 divided by 2, that's 27. So your median number of swimmers is 27. Moving on to the next question. Okay. It says a point A has coordinates 6, 4 and point B has coordinates 2, 7. Alright. Write AB as a column vector. Basically AB means OB minus OA. And since they are asking you to write it in as column vector format, you will write it like this. 2/7 minus 6 and 4. So this turns out to be 2 minus 6 is minus 4. 7 minus 4 is 3. So your final answer is minus 4 and 3. Moving on to question 4, it says find the interior angle of a regular polygon with 24 sides. Look, if you ever want to find the interior angle of a polygon, the formula is n minus 2 multiplied by 180 divided by n. N basically refers to the number of sides. Alright, so there are 24 sides. 24 minus 2 multiplied by 180 divided by 24. So that would give you an answer of 165, and that's it. Moving on to question 5, it says without using a calculator, work out 15/28 divided by 4/7. Look, 15/28 you write as it is. Instead of divide, write multiply, and this would be 7/4. Alright, we reciprocate. 7 goes up, 4 goes down. So just let's make our lives easier. 7 ones are 7, 7 fours are 28. So 15 upon 4 multiply by 1 upon 4. So 15 ones are is 15, 4 fours are is 16. So it's 15 upon 16, your answer. Moving on to the next question, question number 6. It says calculate the mean mark. Whenever you have data like this and you're asked to calculate the mean, what you have to do is first you have to multiply these numbers. You have to multiply the numbers with the frequency. So let's multiply them. 5 8s are is 40. And then you have to add them up as well. 6 5s are is 30. 7 11s are is 77. 8 times 7, if I'm not wrong, it's 56. 9 5s are 45. And 10 4s are is 40. Alright. Now what you have to do, you have to add all of these numbers and divide it by total frequency. Total frequency is what? 40. Alright. So once you will do that, let's do that in front of you. 40 plus 30 plus 77 plus 50 plus 56 plus 45 plus 40. It's 288 divided by 40. So it's 7.2. So the mean marks, the average marks of the class are 7.2. Moving on to question 7, it says calculate the area. It's very simple. Area of any triangle is half into base, which is 10.8, multiplied by height, which is 8.5. If we were to plug this into a calculator, 10.8 multiplied by 8.5 divided by 2, so it's 45.9. Alright, Acha. Now we'll be moving on to the next question, which says calculate the perimeter. Perimeter basically refers to the boundary of any side. So first of all, you will use Pythagoras theorem to find this side. Alright, so since this is the longest side, the formula is c square is equals to a square plus b square. Alright, c square we don't know, a square is 8.5 square plus b square is 10.8 square. Let's calculate it. 8.5 square plus 10.8 square. So this turns out to be 188.89, and then you underroot it. So it's 13.73. That's not where you stop. Since the question was asking you to calculate the perimeter, you would add all the sides up as well. So 8.5 plus 10.8 plus 13.73. This is 33.03. So that would be your answer. So we will just write 33.03. Moving on to our next question, it says calculate the value of 2.3 multiplied by 10 raised to power minus 3 plus 6.8 multiplied by 10 raised to power minus 4. Since this is just of 1 mark and calculators were allowed for these papers, you would just do it like this. Then 6.8 multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 4 bracket close. So which is equivalent to 2.98 multiplied by 10 raised to power minus 3. 2.98 multiplied by 10 raised to power minus 3. Next question, factorize completely. If you look at it, the number which is common in both is 3, and the variable which is common is x. So this turns out to be x minus 4y, and that's it. You have factorized. This question says expand and simplify. Alright, so expand and simplify basically means you will multiply the brackets with each other, m square plus 2m, then minus 3 multiplied by m, minus 3m, minus 3 multiplied by 2 is minus 6. So m square minus m minus 6. That's it. The question just asked you to expand and simplify. So we'll stop over here. Acha. Moving on, sketch the graph of each function. Moving on to question 10, it says sketch the graph y is equals to minus 3. Y is equals to x minus 3. Since it means that the gradient is 1 and the y-intercept C is -3. So you'll just make a graph like this. Not, yeah, like this. Let me make it again. So basically this is the point which is 0, -3. So this graph is sufficient. Moving on to the next graph, part B,
Okay.
y is equals to 1 upon x. So for this,
Sir,
you always have
मैं
graphs
2 मिनट.
like this. Moving on to the next question, it says, describe the single transformation that maps shape A onto B. If you look at it, this is a rotation. It has been rotated, and it has been rotated 90-degree clockwise. So you will write rotation, then you will write 90-degree clockwise, and since it's of 3 marks, you have to tell basically the point of rotation. Now you use a tracing paper or you use geometrical instrument to find the point of rotation. Unfortunately, I don't have them right now, but for the upcoming papers I will use it. So it's 0, 2 for now. Moving on to the next question, it says shape A onto shape C. So as you can see, shape A onto shape C. This is A and this is C. So basically this is a reflection along the y is equals to x axis. Now I'll show you how. If I make a line like this, right? So look, 1, 2, and then I'll use a different color to show you guys. 1, 2. Then let's go from this point. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is basically a reflection along the y is equals to x axis. So you will write over here reflection. You will just write reflection on y is equals to x. Now the next question says shape A onto D. Shape A onto D. This is clearly enlargement. The size, there's no rotation. There's just a difference in the size. So this is called enlargement. So whenever you want to find enlargements, first of all you join all the corresponding sides with one another. All right.
Okay.
Let me join it since I don't have a scale. Yeah, I'll just use the annotate version. So if you look at it, this point is joining on at this point 6, 4. Just because my scale wasn't perfect, I wasn't able to make it, but it's joining, sorry, 4, 6. 4, 6. All right. So your answer is going to be, this is enlargement. For enlargement, you have to write the scale factor. If you look at it, the original figure A was, what was the like the length? 1, 2, 3, 4. And the enlarged figure, what's the length? 2. So this is half. Enlargement has been halved. The new shape is half of the previous shape. So scale factor is half, and the center of enlargement is basically 4, 6. And that's how you do it. Moving on to the
Okay.
next question. It says the population of a town decreases exponentially at the rate of 1.7 per year. The population now is 250,000. Calculate the population at the end of 5 years. We use the same formula which we use for compound interest. So the formula that we will be using over here is, it says the population of town decreases. Alright, calculate the population at the end of 5 years. So 250,000 is the current population. You multiply it 1 minus 1.7 upon 100. raised to power the number of years, raised to power 5. So you will get an answer of 229460. So easy. Next question. Write the recurring decimal 0.26 as a fraction. You must show all the working. So basically this question means 0.266666. All right. So let's assume that 10x is equals to, let's assume x is equals to 0.26666. Let's assume 10x is equals to 2.6666. All right. And let's assume 100x is equals to 26.6666. Now just write 100x over here. 100x is equals to 26.66 and 10x is equals to 2.6666. You subtract both of them. So this becomes 90x is equals to, once you subtract them you will get 24. 26.666 minus 2.666 is 24. So x is equals to 24 divided by 90, and that's going to be your final answer. You can further simplify 24 upon 90 and write it as 4 upon 15 as well. Moving on to the next question, it says the box and whisker plot gives information about the heights in centimeters of some plants. Write down the median. Acha, median always in the box and whiskers diagram is this middle one. So it's going to be 11.5. Acha, whenever you're asked to find the range basically means what? Range basically means the biggest number, which is 14, minus the smallest number, which is 2. So the range is going to be 12. Alright. Now we are going to find the interquartile range. Interquartile basically means upper quartile minus lower quartile. This is the upper quartile. Upper quartile is 13.5 and lower quartile is 5. 13.5 minus 5, that's 8.5. That's it. Moving on to the next question, work out the angle ABC, give reasons for your answer. They are asking you for this question, this angle. So if you look at it, this is adjacent, so this side is also going to be 64 degrees. And if you look at the figure once again, all these four sides are touching the corners of the circle. So that basically means opposite sides are 180 degrees. So which means 64 plus b is equals to 180. 180 is b is equals to 180 minus 64. Alright, when you do b is equals to 180 minus 64 is going to be 116. Alright, so you can say because of alternate segment theorem. That's it.
नहीं.
Moving on to the next question, says solve the simultaneous equation. You must show all your working. Acha. In this question, they have already given us equation 1 and equation 2. They have already made x the subject, so we are going to plug x into the second equation. So x square minus y square is equals to 39. Instead of x, I will just write 7 minus 3y whole square minus y square is equals to 39. This is an identity, so it will become 49 minus 42y plus 9y square minus y square is equals to 39. So 8y square minus 42y plus 49 minus 39 is equals to 0. So this turns out to be 8y square minus 42y plus 10 is equals to 0. Now you can't solve this equation by using breaking of the middle term. You have to use the formula. So basically x is equals to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. Alright. Achha. Do remember that any term with x or y squared is a, any term with just y or x is b, and the last term is c. So we'll just plug in the numbers now. To make your life easier, always write down the value of a, the value of b is minus 42, and the value of c, which is 10. So x is equals to minus b, so you will write minus 42 plus minus under root b squared, which is 42 square minus 4 multiplied by a multiplied by 10 upon 2a, 2 multiplied by a. X is equals to plus 42 plus minus, just solve this thing. Let's just use a calculator. Under root 42 square minus 4 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 10, 38. Alright, so that's under root 38 upon 16. Now if you look at it, it's going to be x is equals to plus 42 plus under root 38 upon 16, and x is equals to plus 42 minus under root 38 upon 16. Alright, so plus 42 plus under root 38 upon 16, that is going to be 3.010, and the next one is going to be minus, it's going to be 2.2397, 2.2397. Plug these values to find y. So in this equation, just rearrange the equation and write it as 3y is equals to 7 minus x. So y is equals to 7 minus x upon 3. So we will just plug in the value of x, 7 minus x upon 3. So 7 minus first value of x is 3.010 upon 3. So 1.33. And the second one is going to be Acha, I made a silly mistake. That mistake is when I did under root. Look, I did under root 42 square minus 4 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 10. So just let me solve it again. 40 under root 42 square minus 4 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 10. The answer was directly 38, but by mistake I did under root 38. So remove the under root, guys. Alright, just remove the under root. So now we'll do this again. So 42 plus 38 upon 16. So the first value is 5. And the second value, instead of plus, I will just write minus. Second value is plus 42 minus 38 upon 16. Second value is 0.25. Alright, it's 0.25. Now I had rearranged the equation. Y is equals to 7 minus x upon 3. Y is equals to 7 minus x upon 3. Acha, I made a slightly one more mistake. If you look at the question, it was 8y squared minus 42y plus 10. So all this time we were not finding x, we were finding y. So all of these are values of y. 5 and 0.25 are the values of y. Alright, so once again I apologize. So we just had to switch the values. Now let's find the value of x. X is equals to 7 minus 3y. X is equals to 7 minus 3y. So in place of y, I will just plug in the values. When I will plug in 5, I will get minus 8. And when I will plug in 0.25, I'll get the value of 6.25. And that's it. Moving on to the next question, it says a is the point 3, 5, b is the point 1, minus 7. Find the equation of the line perpendicular to AB. Alright, so first of all, the first step is to find the gradient. So you will do y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. M is equals to minus 12 upon minus 2. M is equals to 6. Now whenever we have to find the gradient of the perpendicular line. So that is going to be m is equals to minus 1 upon 6. Alright. Now it says find the equation of the perpendicular line to AB that passes through the point A. So we need two things. We have the perpendicular gradient and we need the coordinates of A. So y is equals to mx plus c. Y is 5 is equals to m is minus 1 upon 6 multiplied by 3 plus c. This turns out to be 5 is equals to minus 1 upon 2 plus c. C is equals to 5 plus 1 upon 2. So c is equals to 11 upon 2, which is 5.5. So your final answer is going to be y is equals to minus 1 upon 6x plus 11 upon 2, and that's it. Easy 4 marks. Moving on to the next question. A car travels at constant speed. It travels a distance of 146.2 meters correct to 1 decimal place. This takes 7 seconds correct to the nearest 1 second. Calculate the upper bound. Looks, first of all, the formula for speed is equals to distance upon time. Now when we talk about upper bound of speed, it basically means the speed was high. The speed can only be high when you covered more distance in less time. So we will find the upper bound of distance. This is 1 decimal place, which means 0.1. 0.1 divided by 2 is 0.05. So we will find the upper bound of the distance, which is 146.2 plus 0.05. This turns out to be 146.25. And we will calculate the lower bound of the speed. You traveled more distance in less time. So it was correct to 1 second. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. So 7 minus 0.5 is equals to 6.5. So speed is equals to distance, which is 146.25 upon time, which is 6.5. So it's going to be 22.5. That's it. Moving on to the next question. It says on the diagram, sketch the graph of y is equals to cos x. Look, the graph of y is equals to cos x is always like this. It always intersects at these points. It goes till -1, and then so this is the simple graph. I just made it a bit slightly up. This is the graph. All right. Now it says solve the equation. So basically, what you're going to do, 4 cos x is equals to 3 minus 2. 4 cos x is equals to 1. Cos x is equals to 1 upon 4. X is equals to cos inverse 1 upon 4. Right. So when you do that, you basically get x is equals to 75.5. Right. Now cos basically means what? I remember I told you one thing, add sugar to coffee. So cos is basically positive in add, and then again in C. So this is 75.5. One value is 75.5. Other value is going to be 360 minus 75.5. Alright, since we are only going from here till here. 360 minus 75.5 is going to be 284.5, and hence you're done. Next question. Moving on to the next question, says x square minus 12x plus a is equals to x plus b whole square. Find the value of a. Find the value of a and the value of b. Really simple. Just write x square minus 12x plus a, and then this is going to be x square plus 2bx plus b square. It's the identity. All right. X square gets cancelled out, and minus 12 is equals to 2b. Alright, so the value of b is going to be b is equals to minus 12 divided by 2. B is equals to minus 6. Achha. Now we need to find the value of a. A is equals to b square. We are just writing the corresponding terms against one another. So a is equals to minus 6 squared. A is equals to 36. So one is minus 6, other is 36. Alright, next question says, write down the two statements about the relationship between point x, y and z. Very simple. If I were to write the two statements about relationship between point x, y and z, x, y and z. So one point is x to y, the other point is z to y. Alright, so you are going from x to y and then from x to y. Like if I am going from x to y, and then the other point is from z to y, the direction is from z to y. So x is going to be the midpoint, As you can see, it is half of zy. And the second point relationship is that all the points are collinear, which means they all lie on a straight line. So that's it for today's class. I hope you were able to understand. If you have any questions or confusions, you may drop your comments below. Take care. Assalamu alaikum.